we got this new moon in Leo. So this is basically all about planting good seeds and being more center stage and expressing yourself and basically putting yourself in a circumstance situation where you won't go through trials and tribulations. Because if you ain't rocking with the moon circumstances situations, if you ain't playing out in the energies, and things can get very critical and very out of hand. So with this new moon, this is basically dealing with the heart spectrum. So of course, moon in Leo, sun in Leo, this is basically dealing with self-expression, being center stage, having a main focus, a main goal, and basically aiming at towards what you want to aim for. And this is also basically dealing with stubbornness, being fixated in your own way, and that's fire. And that's basically being consistent, or pretty much dealing with other energies that are play around that perspective. So of course, there's a lot of attention-seeking circumstances, situations that be basically played out too. So be careful with your heart too. So if you got irregular heart beating right now, that don't mean go to the hospital. That just mean you going through a circumstance situation, and you got to utilize your faith, your power, your strength, your focusness, and utilize that and basically put this in perspective so your fruits and labors can really grow. Now look, also we about to run through the houses, then we're gonna get into the sun signs, then we're gonna get to the moon's perspectives, because this is basically tomorrow the moon will be in Virgo. So yesterday was basically the new upcoming birth, but today is a new birth and a new moon. So planting good seeds and staying focused, because remember, when we get new moons, this is new spirits, new circumstances, situations, new outcomes and shit, new things is coming into existence. So that's basically also new growth, new benefits, more examples, more prime ministries. So of course, if you ain't planting good seeds through that process that we just passed with the from the moon going through this phase and this cycle, if you ain't planting good seeds, then your fruits and labors won't grow. You gonna manifest, but you gonna be manifesting bullshit. So if you ain't on your P's and Q's and being consistent, then this shit gonna get out of line. Now when we talking about when we got the new moon, which is new circumstance situations, we dealing with the first house. This is dealing with actions and self-expression. So new ways of the way you act and self-express yourself. It could be good or it could be bad, depending on the circumstance situations of what you was basically manifesting, whether it was good or bad. So new ways and new actions to basically be ministered. Now, if you playing good seeds, everything will play out. But if you on your way to basically playing catch up, then things is gonna slowly but surely grow out. Second house, this is dealing with values and personal growth. So things that you do value and things that you don't value. There's gonna basically be a little percentage thing going on for me. So it's a little spectrum. Is maybe a little difficult, especially if you wasn't planting good seeds. So things that you take care of, things that you value and shit. These things is gonna be more of a balanced spectrum. You might lash out on something that you control or earn, or values that don't serve you no purpose. You may start to like get rid of them or just don't pay attention to it. Third house. This is basically dealing with extremeness, parties, being looked at as a new scenery and circumstances situation. So you might be you're gonna basically be attracting a lot of hype ass people that basically drag you into circumstances situations that you may like and you may not like. So basically be careful that and decipher what's gonna best work out for you. Fourth house is dealing with your house, your privacy matters, and comfortability. So basically, be very aware of how you express private matters and relationship issues with other people, places, and things. Because you might slip up, or somebody just may not know you, and they just may catch on to what you're saying, and things can get a little gossipy and shit. So you want to be careful of that, the way you self-expressing yourself. Fifth house, this is basically dealing with expression, entertainment, romance, and basically dealing with our childlike nature. So we're gonna basically be in the phase of trying to figure out what's working best for you, whether it's working best for you or not, whether it's a good charge or a bad charge. You might just wake up on the wrong side of the bed and just might be mad at the world, but basically these are new spirits inhabiting you. So question these feelings, emotions, thoughts, and ideas. So this won't basically burden you down. And basically, of course, when there's a new moon, first thing first, you wake up, you meditate. This way you won't go waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Sixth house dealing with responsibilities, health, family, daily routine and shit. Because this also play a spectrum of that percentage level. So you might feel the need to might check up on your fam or check up on somebody and basically check up with their health, see if they on good terms, a good paces, and basically analyzing the details. So of course, that's the energies you'll be playing out, whether it's a good or bad thing, whether you use it, whether you need to do this or not. Seventh house is basically dealing with new companionships, new relationships, new business goals, new outlook on the world, new information, new connection. So you might feel the need to basically want to get away from your partner, whether they treating you good or bad, or you want to basically, you might be talking about some polygram relationship type shit, or you might just basically be open to a whole lot of relationships and basically be self judging yourself, whether, oh, this relationship is good, whether this relationship bad, whether your relationship good, what can you do better in your relationship, how can you please your partner. You might try a new sex position today, shit, or you might just give her head today, or she might give you head today, type shit. Also, we got eighth house. This is basically dealing with deep desires and hidden traumas and shit. You might feel the need to want to basically express this shit, or you might just play the game with the cipher, whether you should express this to somebody, or basically you might just basically be too emotional and just basically too attached, too detached from people, places, and things. Or if you're on the good side, it's you gonna feel the need to basically have self transformation, power, and control over circumstances, situations that value you or don't value you. You might just feel the need to basically go out your way for somebody and just help them out or just look out for them. Shit that you won't normally do in public, you might do for somebody. Ninth house is basically dealing with the principles, businesses, having an outlook on whether people, places, and things serve you this purpose. And you might get things that you may be working on, probably could be good or bad, last minute. Don't blame nobody from nothing. Feel me? At the end of the day, you only got yourself at the end of the day. So stay focused and whatever task you want to work on, utilize that from your best perspective. Also, 10th house is basically dealing with responsibilities, career, having a new outlook on things. So basically, if you was planting good seeds, you'll be looking at things grow in your favor. If you was planting bad seeds, then you'll basically have worry and guilt. This is not the time to be having worry and guilt. This is the time to basically clean out your space. Make sure you have room for this new moon and start planting good seeds. Don't be on your ass, taking having that procrastination shit. You want to man up and basically want a woman up and get on your shit. Feel me? Time wait for nobody. You just got to be consistent. They need to see you be consistent. 11th house dealing with associations, people, places, and things, businesses, childishness, and attention type issues or circumstances, situations that you may be running to, whether you expressing this or somebody is expressing this to you. Try not to overindulge with it because people, places, and things may see it as you just basically being in competition with them and they may not like that shit. Tough house is basically dealing with goals, dreams, illusions, and shit like that. So if you was playing good seeds and shit, and you're being consistent and not getting caught up into illusions, not getting caught into the two right brain and having your right and left brain come into the circumstance situation of being grounded, then things will start growing out into your favor. You will basically be having a backlash of self-doubt and self-guilt. Now, when we get into these sun signs, Sun and Aries, this is basically being seen as a motivator, or basically utilizing your intentions of selfishness and self control. This is what you're going to be pushing out as far as what you're expressing out in the world and how you're going about your day to day basis. So make sure you're utilizing this in your perspective as in a positive spectrum, not other people, places, things looking at it as in you being too over control. But people are looking up to you at this point because you are the cardinal of fire. So basically, utilize that as your perspective. Now, if you got a moon in Aries, this is what you're going to be receiving from other people, places, and things, being over dramatic, expressive, and showing their ways. So it's going to be like a little competition for me, because the sun is basically the night is sun. The night is basically the moon in the Aries. That's basically what you put out is what you get back. Remember, the sun is the expression, and what you putting out to the sun, you're gonna get back from the moon. Remember that shit. And when we dealing with Sun and Taurus, this is basically like self inquiries with other people, places, and things. Try not to be on a lazy spectrum and shit. You will give your all to somebody and shit, but make sure they meeting you on the other side. Don't just be playing all your eggs in one basket. Basically, giving your all to somebody and they're not matching up to your highest frequency, vibration, energy. Because at the end of the day, this can basically be a issue. You don't want to be going through this. So basically, speak up. Things that people, places, and things that's not valuing you in circumstance situation, make sure you speak that up and basically put that on the line right now. For me, don't go overboard. Basically, have a balanced spectrum. And if you got a moon in Taurus, it's basically you're going to be receiving self-expression. So other people, places, and things tell you that, oh, you need to step it up. You need to do this. You need to do that. So be aware of these people. And of course, if they're not serving no purpose, then you know what to do. Cut these motherfuckers off. Sun in Gemini is basically being seen, gossiping, talking, and expressing yourself, and basically, being in such a stage. Or you might backtrack and not just do that. You might just look at the other spectrum and basically go about your day about things and not being fully too expressive. And if you got a moon in Gemini, you're gonna be receiving people, places, and things like throwing that around you, and also you're gonna be around people, places, and things that might be procrastinating, might not see themselves as self-expression. So be careful who you're around with. Sun in Cancer. This is basically being seen as in act like hidden agendas being buried. So you gotta basically come out your new way of self self expression and not being too hidden for me, because you gotta, like, the moon don't like to be too open. The moon like to be protected, but you gotta have ways of switching up and basically utilizing that to basically push out what you want to basically utilize, and so other people, places, things can see. If you got a moon in Cancer, you're gonna be receiving people, places, and things that's trying to have self-expression towards you, but it may be a little charge in between, because it might be a little gap because it's a new moon. So expect these people. Sun in Leo, you're gonna Sun in Leo, you're gonna be reacting and responding to people, places, and things, self-expressions, the way you see yourself in the public arena. This is new ways. Everybody is counting up on the Leos. This is Leo season, so basically ride this out. Show prime example of how people need to be respect you, and this is what we need to be riding as far as this Leo Sun. And the Leo Moon, you're gonna be receiving energies from people, places, and things that's having self-expression about themselves and being in dramatic situations, circumstance situations. So good time to basically utilize that in the highest perspective. Virgo Sun is basically paying attention to things and work, conflict, issues, and circumstance situation. You're gonna basically feel the need to analyze details and look at other people, places, and things, looking at schedule and processing circumstance situation. Moon in Virgo, other people, places, and things are gonna basically watching your moves. You might have somebody that might come spy on you, or you might have to get a stalker online. They might add you and try to get into details. Libra Sun, this is basically dealing with gossiping, being conceited, and being out there and too open. Don't be too open and shit, because people may see it as competition. If you got a moon in Libra, other people, places, things might be trying to be too open and try to get information out of you, seek attention out of you and shit. Feel me? They might be talking behind your back type shit. So be very faulty about these people. Scorpio Sun is basically learn how to have hidden agendas and get these out of you and basically push this out and not procrastinate with it. And of course, it's basically Scorpio falls in Leo, because Scorpio don't like being too open, but basically it's a good time to utilize this and be open and passionate about things. And if you got a moon in Scorpio, you're gonna be receiving people, places, and things that's a little too hidden, and to basically open out. Being open might do something good for you, might do something bad for you, depending on how you're vibrating, because what you're pushing out is what you're gonna receive. Sun in Sagittarius is basically dealing with wisdom, principles, and expansion and growth and experiences. Other people, places, and things will be receiving this from you if you're displaying this. If you're not, then you got a lot of learning to do. You need to basically be self-expressing yourself. And if you got a moon in Sagittarius, people, places, and things are going to be coming to you, gossiping. Mom might come to you, father might gossip to you. You might want to get away from these motherfuckers. Or you might just hit up your, or you just basically be open. 10th house. This dealing with not understanding, seeing reality. And of course, if you're not planting good seeds, you're going to basically be in this circumstance situation. You're always going to have that guilt problem. But remember, this ain't yours. This is what you're experiencing. And if you got a moon in Capricorn, people, places, and things might be look at you like you're useless and you're not taking full control and power over yourself. So make sure you don't put yourself in that circumstance situation. Make sure your ass get back into play. Let these motherfuckers know, yo, I'm taking this shit over. This is my authority. This is my security right here. I'll let y'all motherfuckers know. Don't fuck with me. Don't. Because I'm a Capricorn moon, motherfucker. Also, Aquarius Sun. Basically, this is basically being stubborn, and other people, places, and things might be stubborn towards you, especially if they're not being open towards you and they're not listening to what you want to basically push out. You might have to go. You might went on vacation. You wasn't supposed to go there. These motherfuckers being stubborn there. They don't want to see you on your vacation. You might come back. Motherfuckers might start acting funny. Aquarius moon, you might be attracting that too towards other people, places, things, your boss, your supervisor, your management. Pisces Sun, and this is dealing with feelings and emotions that need to be expressed towards other people, places, things, and try to basically guide yourself and be open to new gifts and possibilities. Feel me? Don't be too stagnated and shit. You need to self-express yourself. If you got a moon sign, you might be around other people, places, things that might be hard to express them. So Remember, what you're pushing out is what you're receiving. So be aware of these people, places, and things. Make sure they match your vibes.